Hi guys, Jason again with another episode of Bye Bye eTard. This time we're going to take a look at the forum called darkness.com. There's a forum there. I believe the address is forum.darkness.com. I used to be a member actually, so this one's a little personal. Try to overlook it. Darkness.com purports itself to be the largest collection of vampires and goths and dark people and so on and so forth. The format has actually changed several times over the years. Originally, the site was vampires.com, and was basically the entire thing was merged over to darkness.com. It's ran by Gary Blankenship. He lives in Clearwater, Florida. Gary goes by the name of Darkness on darkness.com, and really the entire thing is a sham. I mean, the whole thing's a sham. It used to be that Gary would post photos of himself, and turned out those photos they're not him. If you look and dig far enough into the past on that site, you'll see where Darkness has posted photos of a dark bearded guy, handsome, rugged looking guy, usually in a very dark room, and so on and so forth. However, if you search the net for Gary Blankenship of Clearwater, Florida, you'll find out he's a real estate agent, and you can find a photo of him, and he's pretty much a dork. I mean, wow, he's a dork, man. But he purports himself to be some dark-haired, dark-bearded, ruggedly handsome, brooding vampire. It turns out the owner of the site's a dork. He's a chubby-faced dork with ladybug-looking glasses. His glasses kind of look like clear ladybugs to me. The whole site is based around the idea that they want to discuss vampires and dark things and the occult, and recently that has actually changed, although only in name. It still discusses the same things, although the demand is now that it discusses horror related things, especially horror movies. There's really no discussion whatsoever of those things on that site. And then one of the users of that site ended up, he got divorced a couple years ago. His wife messed around on him, and he found out it was pretty hard on him. And he was, I mean, really, really, really harshly treated for it. It's kind of bizarre that he was treated really harshly, given that the reason for it was that he got, his wife cheated on him. It was kind of one of those what moments, you kind of looked at it like, what the hell is that all about? Anyways, the guy was, he was really in the right. He was pissed, really pissed about the way he was treated, and he was banned from the forum because he was, pissed off that he was unfairly treated. So he came back. The guy, he's a friend of mine, and he's really, really good with computers. So he came back all he wanted. He's actually still there, despite the fact that eventually the registration system for the site was closed, mostly. You can't register anymore. You can register, but you can't ever post. You're not an active member until you are hand approved by the owner of the site and a couple of his guys. Meanwhile, though, there are still a lot of new users, and if you examine the way that they write, how they spell and capitalize and things like that, they're more or less identical. They also never last very long. They make just a few posts, and the long-standing toadies of the site just carry the conversation ad nauseum. The person who is new never has very many posts, but makes a lot of new threads. Just fades away. They really don't ever stay. A couple hundred, 150, 200 posts at tops, and then just never log in again. And it's fairly clear once you understand that their spelling styles, capitalization styles, things like that, are identical. that it's really just, one or two people that are, making it appear that there are, lots of people still signing up. But really, if you look at the sign up dates and times, all new users will sign up at about the same time of day. It's really that the only time that the people who are in charge are awake and can just start churning out new usernames just to abandon them later when nobody really notices they don't stay. Now, it is possible that the forum software they use considers your time of joining from the time of when you're approved. That's possible, but it's not the case. They use Envision PowerBoard, and your time of joining is listed as the time you hit register and not when you're approved. So there's somebody, it becomes apparent and obvious that eventually somebody got around to, when they're awake, they sit around and churn out a few new usernames a day. No new users are ever joining at the times of day that the administration is asleep or at work or whatever. Now you couple this, that the only new users, and there are several of them, are only coming out at the exact same time of day, write and talk in the exact same way. The site is well known to have unbelievably harassed somebody who was already going through something pretty rough, and that the owner of the site will, it's been substantiated, lied entirely about who he is. You couple that with one last thing. This is the site where it is the rules that it is perfectly okay to demand that you are an immortal vampire. Nobody can do anything about it. You have to be taken seriously, or the people who don't take you seriously will be booted out. Notice though that there are Google ads going, and that there are actually items for sale on this site. It becomes really kind of just an eTard scenario. You got a bunch of people running around using by force the idea that they really are vampires to harass people who are going through some of the hardest things in their life, and all the while they are quite blatantly lying about who they are, what they are, where they are, but they want your money. They want you to buy stuff, and they want to make money off the fact that you're even there in the first place. This is definitely an eTard scenario. So if you can, try to avoid forum.darkness.com, or at the very least, go there and harass them, but you can't, because you have to be handpicked to be approved to be there. Now earlier I said that guy that was really good with computers who got screwed, he's still there. He's actually really good with computers. He's got over 300 usernames still there, and he posts regularly. Nobody has any idea. He's kind of known to be a little volatile, though. My buddy's, he likes to stick it to you when you're not expecting it. So sometime soon he's kind of promising that about 300 people are going to rise up on that forum and start going ape to drive off even more members, because that's what really ended up happening. It drove off almost the entire user base except for the toadies and the puppet accounts. Almost everybody else is gone, and he's just waiting on a bunch of really old accounts. It should be fun, but it's still retarded. So try to avoid it. It's just stupid.